Now. Ooh, I can see a red light. Hello and welcome. So this is a video that will be up on our website on youhappyfirsttonight.com. And it really is a lovely introduction in seeing what Charlotte does, who is a really essential part of our team, will be providing BodyTalk group sessions for the membership site. And we just thought it would be really nice to just get Charlotte on a call, say hello and Happy New Year and all these things, and just give you a platform, Charlotte, to just, really say what you do, a little bit about the work of BodyTalk, and in particular with these group sessions, and how it works maybe for people that are newer to this. And then we'll get a real treat of actually having a session and experiencing what that feels like. And yeah, I'm really excited to have you here on the call together with Judith and myself, Alexandra. So yeah, I think I'll just hand over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you, Alexandra and Judith. And yes, so nice to be here and for the three of us to get together and put this out there to begin to let people know what's available to them. And I am so thrilled and pleased to be part of this and to be part of offering something that can support what you do and what everybody who is connecting with you are looking for. So it's exciting. So thanks for that. So I'm here today to say hi to everyone and Happy New Year. And of course, letting you know about the work I do, which is using a system called the BodyTalk system. And we're here to do a small session, a lovely treat for you as a New Year welcome session as well. So let me start by, first of all, saying one way or the other, we may all be distant, and especially in the times we're in now, as it's January 2021, but we are also all connected. And it has been a year of learning to use Zoom and all the different platforms to connect, which all this modern technology is in a way a down-to-earth way of explaining how doing healthcare at a distance, because we're not together in person, but it is just as powerful and just as effective. So today we are here to also receive a BodyTalk session and try what that's like. And BodyTalk is mind-body healthcare, and also sometimes called energy medicine. So we could say, like, we're all listening and seeing each other now, like when you watch the TV or a radio station, it's all transmitted by frequency. And without going into this in any depth, but every part of us, so from the voice, but also our thoughts, our emotions, our cells, also function at a frequency level, not just a physical level. And we can tune into this across the world, wherever we are. And that's what we're doing right now. And we call it receiving by distance. But ultimately, it's like we're right here because we're all paying attention to the same thing at the same time. So welcome to the session and to this introduction. And BodyTalk. Let me explain what BodyTalk is. You may or may not have heard of it. You may not really be familiar with the whole mind-body healthcare, all the different modalities there is, the idea of holistic healthcare, but it's about the whole person, working with you as a whole person, and body and mind works together. Where BodyTalk, it's all in the name. It's actually a very simplistic name, and underneath that is a very broad and wonderful way of describing how everything works together. But the system is designed to help you help yourself, which I think You Happy First and You Happy First Unite, it is all about you helping you and all of us also supporting each other in doing that. So every part of you at times get scrambled, just like you may not receive a phone signal from somebody, you know, they'll, can you hear me? Are you there? Is the screen frozen? And you kind of get that within you as well as a person. on all different levels, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So whether it's the nervous system, your hormonal system, the signals and the chemicals are not traveling well, we get sluggish, we get blocked. The same can happen in every way. So we're looking for, with BodyTalk, which I love, I've been working with it for 20 years and teaching it for 10. Anybody can learn this. We're looking right now within you. So you may almost take a moment and focus in with yourself. And we're looking at parts of you that have become scrambled, where that signal, the communication, the body talking isn't flowing as well as it could do. And life is life. There are stresses, there are challenges, there are things to deal with. It's part of the wave. You know, life goes up and down. That's life. It moves. Otherwise, we would be dead and still. So we have to learn to flow and surf through that wave. And we do that by constantly adjusting, moving, and the connections, that flow of communication between everything. It is so important that it is clear so that we can move with the times. And you see the charts behind me. It's part of the system. BodyTalk is a system where we can use all the understandings we have from East and West. We can talk about anatomy and physiology and the physical level. We can talk about our energy systems, meridians and chakras, the psychological aspect, our mental faculties and cognition, our memory, all the different ways our brain functions, but also our emotional dynamics. And it puts all of it together. And I'm going to be using for you right now here, focused for you to support you in this moment. We call it a muscle check or biofeedback. It's a way to tune in. And as I ask, what right now is ready for you? What do you need the most right now? Then I can get an easy flow or a kind of, no, we're not going there, or yes, we're going there. Again, this is a very simplistic explanation of something I spend a few hours talking about in a classroom. But in other words, I'm here to assist you. My job is to connect in and see, what do we need? What are we kind of stuck with? And there's, as a group session, which is also another aspect, as you're listening as a person, I just want to say this to you individually, personally, this is for you. Listen to it just as you enjoy receiving. There will be a big part of this that will feel like almost like, I think, as if I'm talking to you personally, because we are a lot more alike than we think. And we can do a general session to a group because we have these themes that, you know, we all recognize. And that is my job today, to do this generalized session like the radio program or the video here that everybody's tuning into. So my job with my years of experience is to connect to that group energy. And also, if you were having a session, a body talk session, just for you personalized, you would probably say a few things about what's going on with you before we started. So I've talked to Alexandra and Judith as well of the sort of theme for today's session that touches everyone. And we talked about, this is the new year. This is also new time. You know, the world is changing, life is changing, yet it does that every day. It does that every moment. Let's not forget that. You know, as I said, let's help us just move through without maybe getting too caught up in extra rocky weather that it might feel like it is right now. When we come into ourselves as whole people, we can surf and navigate that so much easier. So reducing the stress of these times, being able to let any stress and tension we do experience, new challenges, things we have to deal with on every level of our being, physically, emotionally, mentally, that it can actually also flow through us and flush out what we don't need to keep, so we don't end up all rigid and tense and with all the physical symptoms that comes with that, whether that's headaches, digestive problems, the memory feels like it's going, we just feel like we're losing it. We don't need to. We can connect back to ourselves and get everything within us helping us flow through these times. So just before we started as well, we talked about a couple of other words, and I believe this is coming in from people who may be listening as well, is, you know, that disconnect that we're especially feeling as we have extra sort of externally, we seem to be shut down from each other more. And we're trying to figure out how to do that. The isolation of this time can even lead to a sense of loneliness. But right now in this moment, I really, really want to invite you that we're all here. We are connected. And at the frequency level, we're not apart at all. So take this moment and enjoy spending time with the You Happy First Unite group and through the Body Talk work. So let me just check that I have covered everything that I hope gives you a sense of how we can connect, how the Body Talk session will work for you. And I will say a few more things as we go into it. But this new year, a sentence that also is coming up quite strongly is also that permission to sort of step into a space of finding you in all of this. We have so much opportunity. And that's the one thing the body mind is always doing. Like, you know, if you cut your finger, it just starts healing. Even while you're sleeping, you don't even have to be aware of it. So we are always moving towards something that helps us. And if you put a sponge on water on a table, you know, and pay attention to it, like give it a squeeze, it'll just go, it'll soak up whatever's good for you. So I am now going to hand over or give you some things through the session that you can use that is good for you. So enjoy soaking it up, enjoy receiving on that sense of helping you find you and come back into you. There's this wonderful thing that happens that once we actually kind of help let go of some of all the stresses and all this external pressure around us, and we come in, like the ancients would say, you know, come into being present in the moment, all of a sudden it's easier to actually connect out as well and feel the world around us. So you may, after this session, also feel it's easier to connect with your loved ones, and or even listening to a good music video or watching a movie, but just connecting with the world outside in different ways. So I hope you will feel some of that after the session, as well as maybe physically relaxing more, clearing your head, releasing tension wherever it might be stuck in the body. So let's see what's ready for us all as a group. And I imagine I have all of you here, all your pictures, your image. So you personally, the person listening right now, this is for you. And I'm going to be using my muscle test. You just can't see it, but I am asking a series of questions, which I don't need to do out loud. So for a while, I'll just be sitting here and going through my charts, and I will then give you feedback when I get, yes, all of us could do with this technique and helping different parts of us talk. So let me get away from my introductory talk mode and just go into a session mode and tune in. So enjoy receiving. Maybe sit back if you're leaning into the screen, or lie on your bed or sit back on your chair. Just let those shoulders drop and the face drop, and just know there's nothing to do because you have me as your assistant right now. And we all need assistance and support in life, so enjoy. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths and just breathe out all the world out there, and just take a moment to be here. And there may be noises and things going on, just kind of let it be out there. So my job is leaving all the technical jargon of the whole system, because it's very specific, it's very structured, but I'm going to leave that aside and share what the session is bringing up for all of us in a way that is more, you know, that is understandable in everyday speak. And that feeling of there is a priority, in other words, you know, what is ready now? What can we work on? We call it priority because you can try and push something to change. If it's not ready, then we're just wasting time. So what is ready? What are we effectively going to work on? And yes, it is priority, that sense of being split off, disconnected. But we start to really help with that. We got to start with ourselves. So you happy first. It's definitely that theme. And we're going to do one of our core techniques. It's called switching. There's another technique. These both help balance the brain, which also we call it the cortices. You may have tried it. You may have received this, where we connect the two hemispheres of the brain. We're going to do switching instead. It has a similar way of helping us come back into ourselves when we're caught up in stress. But in this way, I'll guide you. If you want to do it at home, I will show you, or you can just sit back and just listen. You will be receiving either way, but we're going to be waking the two sides of the brain up through the two eyes. You know how when you're tired and you've got so much going on, it's almost like your eyes are tired. They're all tense. So just helping everything relax. But before we do that, this wakes the brain up and helps the left and right hemisphere get more clarity so you can process life and what's going on easier. We also have a couple of points here. So your collarbone, just underneath in the middle is a couple of soft spots. And when this technique is like, you know, when the fuses blow, when your electrical system in your house is overloaded and it's like, it's just too much now, I can't do it. Poof. It's like the brain says, I've got to shut down. I've got to switch off. And that's great. You know, we do need breaks and we need sleep and that. But if it does it too much and too often, then that's not helpful at all. This helps kind of put the fuses back in by making a connection, helping your body help itself in this way. So that's our first, we call it link in BodyTalk, or connection. And let's see. Let me talk you through this. So if you like to do it at home, because you won't be able to see me, just follow my voice or just watch. But a couple of fingers sideways rather than poking, just over your whole eye on both sides, and just gently press in. It shouldn't hurt. Now, if you've got contact lenses, just look down first and then close your eyes. Then it's more comfortable. But as you put the pressure over the eyes, you might see stars and little lights flashing. That's okay. But ease off if it hurts. Just kind of wake your brain up now by doing this, and just take a nice deep breath. Now, keeping your eyes closed, we're going to take the hands away again, but as if the pressure is still there. And with one hand, those points under your collarbones, like the thumb and the middle finger reaches across and touches the point on left and right side. And we're just going to massage that slightly. And with the other hand, we're going to do something magical. We're going to do some tapping. This is how we activate this in your body. You're going to take the hand on top of your head and spread your fingers out and start tapping on your head. And take a nice deep breath. Just light tapping. Massaging these points under your collarbone on both sides. Don't worry too much if you're not in the right spot. You will be. And then I want you to take the hand that's tapping on the head down into the center of the chest. We call it the heart center. And gently tap there. Breathing again, nice and deep. And finally, move the tapping hand down around your navel, over your belly, and just tap around generally that area. Another nice deep breath. Still massaging the points under your collarbone. Still with the eyes closed. Relaxed body, deep breath. And then just opening the eyes gently, letting go of the hands, coming back round. And just see any different feeling, sit with that, and you can take that forward with you. Now, as you have your eyes open, I just want to show you the tapping as well, so you get the visual. So on the head, we spread the fingers out. It can be like this, or like finger on each side, and we gently tap. And on the heart center in the middle and around the navel. This is the BodyTalk way of all the work that we do, that it helps be received by your body, by your brain actually getting engaged. And your brain is the supercomputer that organizes everything in your body. And it could just help unscramble your brain a moment ago and get some fuses back in so your brain can be clear and help you process all the things that you might be dealing with. Tapping on the heart is like clicking save on the computer. This is the new me. Remember this. Take this with you after the session. And tapping around the gut, it's called the gut brain, the over the navel. So let me see, you know, I can just about show that. Then that's like when you take in food, you digest it, you make it part of you. So in other words, you are doing this for yourself. I'm just guiding you into it and assisting you in finding this within you, finding you again. So let's see what our next step could be. Enjoy sitting back again, and so the switching helps sort of unscramble us. We need to do something else to unscramble. There's still a feeling of, there's a lot of things to deal with in a lot of ways at the moment in life. We can easily get scrambled. So let's see. This is an interesting one. I didn't expect this as a group. It's lovely. We're actually going to be connecting the two shoulders. And again, is balancing the two sides of your body as well, so that you can be more coherent as a whole person. The shoulders help us face forward. It's also how we take responsibility. And that's an interesting word, the ability to respond, if you think about it. Being able to respond, facing forward, you know, willing to meet the world rather than hiding away, retreating. It's very soft, it's very gentle. And our shoulders, you can say body psychology. It's this is one of the jobs our shoulders do for us. But what often happens is, and often many of us have grown up to understand responsibility as a burden. We have to carry everything. It's almost like the famous coat hanger, you know, it's like up through the neck here. We hang everything on our shoulders. We get neck tension. It starts blocking the flow of blood and lymph and so on to our head. Our brain gets scrambled. So actually being able to ease off. So try and imagine, what are your shoulders doing right now? Just tune in and feel into it for yourself. Try and consciously drop them. But I'm also going to help your body remember that after the session. And just let go of some of all that stuff we got hanging on here that we don't need. I was reading an article about a lot of parents being really stressed because of homeschooling again now. And there was a couple of teachers saying, it's okay. It's okay. We're all doing our best. Just the well-being of your children is more important than them really learning everything 100%. We're all in the same boat. It's okay. Just take the pressure off. It's that kind of message on every level here. And we can do it very simply. And if you like to join in, but we're going to hold one or two shoulders. Now, if you only have one arm available for whatever reason, you can just touch one first and then the other. And maybe you have a place where you feel the stress and burdens of the times we live in. Maybe it's on the top, maybe you're more at the front or the side. Just let yourself, like a self hug, you know, just connect. Maybe it's at the back, maybe even in towards the neck. And this, I would say, is something you can do at different days. Maybe you feel a different area. Come back and just help your shoulders help each other to ease the burden. And that realization, oh, this can actually be enjoyable. I can respond. I'm not frozen with heaviness. I can actually move. That's some of the wonderful things that comes from this. So Again, take a nice deep breath. We're going to tap again. So you have to take one hand off. Doesn't matter which one. Imagine it's there. Let's wake our brains up so your master computer can coordinate this release of tension and burden for you. Breathe. And I'm doing this for all of you. So I'm kind of there with you, tapping on you, holding your shoulders at home. Okay. Tap on your heart. Like, we got to click save. Remember this. Tonight while you sleep. Tomorrow into next week. And tapping around the navel. Okay. Message received. Everything connects to everything. This is modern quantum physics. Every atom in the universe connects. It's also very ancient wisdom. The ancients knew that we were all connected as a whole, as people. And everything we work on, when we make connections in the body, it has a domino effect. The rest of your body is also able to make a change. So you may unexpectedly feel something totally unrelated to this topic change in you. And I invite you to look for that and feel that. One of the things I'm really picking up on here is, as we have this isolation, cut off from each other theme, is the ability to respond. It also brings joy. Your heart sits in the middle here. It becomes freed up. And also that ability within you to feel the world around you, as I talked about in the beginning. So I feel that energy as a group energy very much. I hope you, in whatever small or huge ways, can feel that now as well. And let that develop for you in the next few days after this. So we got one more thing to do in this intro session. We're actually going to return to these points here. Now we're going to be using the ancient meridian system that is also used in acupuncture. The points you touched here, massaged, are very close to the kidney meridian. And these are lines of chi. If you do qigong or tai chi or even Pilates, yoga, or just a good walk, a good stretch, you're opening up these lines of life force, energy, resilience, strength. And the kidney is like the roots of that. It's like our ancestral energy. We have so much more strength and resilience than we realize. And it feels like as a group, we could all do with just opening that channel and benefiting from that. It starts at the bottom of your feet. So if this was a foot, just in here at the ball of your foot is kidney 1, the first point. We actually draw energy up from the earth all the time. Even just hearing this, knowing that's happening, you know, you could just take a moment, and if you do feel scrambled and stressed, just take a moment and feel your feet on the ground in the days to come, the weeks to come, the months ahead. That's something you could do as homework. Just like take a deep breath and let your shoulders relax. Your body will remember this session. And you can always rewatch it as well if you need another boost. But we're going to link the number 1 point on both sides of the feet all the way up the body to the top. And let me just see, we need, it's not so much flushing out stress, it's there's a key word I need here, which is something BodyTalk does very much. It's like, let's home in on exactly the right signal that we need, that we can use. Let me try different words. It's restoring. We actually need to restore this, this line of life force, this line of strength and resilience within us. Sometimes it's like we leak our energy. We don't mean to, it just gets drained out into the world. So this can help us restore that, come back into ourselves again, and really feel how much resilience you do have. And also help all of us recognize there is a time we need to rest, and we need a hug, and we need to reach out and say, hey, someone just, you know, I need my batteries loaded up again. This is just like when your phone has run right down to the wire. You've got 2% left. Any minute now it's going to cut out. This helps restore, fill up your battery power. And so I'm going to invite all of you. Again, you can just sit and listen, or if you want to connect, again, just the collarbone here comes into the middle, just underneath. Feel, you know, there's bone in the middle, but you just clear the bone. There's a couple of soft spots. You can just be in that whole big area, or you just do this with your hands under your collarbone, just underneath the bone there. And we're going to imagine that under your feet, there's somebody massaging this point on both sides. You know, just imagine that. I'm sure you can feel that. It feels nice. So we're going to connect all these 4 points with the view of restoring, filling up the batteries of our resilience and our strength. So we're going to tap again. We always do that. Let's get the brain on the case to help the body coordinate this. And again, wake your heart up to remember, click save, let your body hold this charge and restored energy as long as possible. And then tapping around the navel. And just let go and take a moment to just do nothing. A lot of the changes happens between the words and all the noise. So let's just take a moment like a download. Okay, you can carry on doing that if you want to take another 5-10 minute break afterwards, but thank you for joining in to do something for you. I hope you enjoyed using BodyTalk, and have a lovely year ahead. Enjoy using and finding all your resources inside, and making the most of them, and being surprised at all the good stuff you will find. So thanks for joining, and thanks Alexandra and Judith for opening this up to everyone. End of session, as we would say.